What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff the AltCoin Buzz. So today we're going to make a video to talk about some things that I've been uncovering, not just from you guys in the community who've been informing us of this, but things I've personally been seeing and uncovering also. And so that's why I'm going to talk about this comment that I put on the Twitter here. And I'm raising this awareness not as a matter of FUD, but as a matter of insight. And this is what it is. So I'm Blockchain J, that's me on Twitter. Apparently, this correction was needed because irresponsible project managers fell asleep at the wheel and forgot they needed to actually work and be accountable. They got bit by the fat cat mentality and some hardcore BS being uncovered. Slackers are no good for crypto. So what do I mean by that, right? You guys are like, wow, that's kind of a heck of an assertion. Well, let's just say this. These are the kind of things that we're uncovering. We're uncovering cryptocurrency projects, altcoins that were on exchanges that fell out of compliance with exchanges, had mobile wallet or had wallet issues, node issues, and because of that, people have lost their coins. So let's just say that if you were holding your coins, maybe on an exchange, maybe, I don't know, maybe you had 1,000 coins that are 30 cents each and you didn't want to have to send them over to a wallet, so you kept them on an exchange. It didn't get hacked or anything. But next thing you know, because that project had fallen out of compliance, I don't know, with Bittrex or Binance or whatever the exchange is, next thing you know, you find out your coins are gone. Well, that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here. Is it the exchange's fault that the altcoin project fell out of compliance with things that the exchange had to uphold in order to be in compliance with governments? I don't think so. So I think that's part of an issue. Another thing is, it's just countless project issues. It's like what ended up happening was these projects got extremely overvalued, created a bubble, and they weren't worth what they were projected at. Now, of course, us the investors, or me the investor, I have to be accountable for that. They didn't put a gun to my head and tell me to buy at these extremely high prices, even if I thought they were extremely high prices. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that as the investor that I should just say, oh, it's okay. You collect public funding, you do an ICO, crowdsource funding, and then just, just kind of idle from there. And, we don't know what each project is doing. Some projects are overworking. Some projects are carrying their own weight, just, getting by. And then some projects just collected a bunch of funds and didn't really do much. All they did was talk a big game on their website. And, if you go to some of these websites, they're still using the same kind of narrative they were using beforehand. So why am I taking this negative approach here? Am I trying to spread FUD? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that if you're going to start an ICO, you need to, if you're going to collect public funds, if you're going to, do an initial coin offering and ask investors to invest, you need to know that you're going to have to be accountable to your investors and you're going to have to deliver on work. That means showing up and being responsible, not waiting on someone to say, hey, knock, knock, you're supposed to be at work. It's you need to show up to work. I'm not going to name any projects in this, but I do know several projects that have dropped the ball and let down investors where people's coins are lost because they're not in compliance. They're doing things that are their nodes, there's errors in their blockchain code, and just various things like this that are unacceptable. And it becomes unacceptable if the same problem exists that is hurting other people for an extended amount of time. So if it's weeks on end that they're notified about it and people are affected and they're still not doing anything about it, and it's a technical issue that should be fixed as a matter of compliance, it should be done in a timely manner. It shouldn't be put off. And for me, I'm saying, well, if I'm seeing it, I know you guys are seeing it because I'm seeing it on multiple different threads, and people are like, how do I get a hold of you guys? Who do I talk to about this? And they're getting ignored. So this is an issue. I'm raising the alarm here. I'm raising the notice here to you guys to let you know that we're aware of this. We're not looking to call out anybody. We're not looking to do anything like that. But what we are saying is that as a community, we have to stick together. Just because it hasn't happened to you yet doesn't mean it won't happen. But this is the riffraff that comes about when people get too comfortable because everything's overvalued. It's like if you won a whole lot of money and you just all of a sudden didn't have to work anymore, what would you do? And that's that term sloth. You know, you don't want to become sloth. And some of these projects got a lot of money and they became sloth. Sloth means basically, for lack of a better term, lazy. And that's that's one of the things that led. That's not the only reason why this bubble popped, but it is one thing that is absolutely can be controlled. What I mean by that is it is in a project's control whether or not they are actively working and not being lazy, right? Being productive. So projects, if they collect ICO funds, they should be productive. And AltCoin Buzz is going to have to do a better job of paying attention to these projects that are not being productive and proactive. And, you know, that's part of the things that we learned about this is that as a whole, we're going to have to make sure these projects are staying up to date, okay? And if I'm not working and doing my job, you guys can let me know, okay? Because if I'm going to call someone out on their work ethic, I had better be ready to be called out on my work ethic, right? So you guys let me know in the comments if you've had some issues with these, you know, these miscellaneous coins where you had coins, they got lost, or you couldn't get them off an exchange. These kind of things right here, so that we can put a little bit of pressure on these projects to know that they can't just put it off and then your money's gone, right? It's just not cool. You guys work hard for your money. You put it into a project. You believe in it. That means you're appreciative of what they're doing. And then, you know, it's one thing if the price goes up or down, right? That's out of their control. But it is something that when the coins are lost, that's not cool. And then you can't get them back because they're just mysteriously lost. That's a problem. Anyways, guys, this is Jeff with AltCoin Buzz. We'll see you all later.